I'm trustworthy, worthy.
Come on! Hey! That works too.
Come on in and sit right down. If you want to, just get up and shout. I'm so glad to see your face. There's nothing quite like this place. Everybody come and clap your hands. I'm so glad we're together again. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Come on in. Hey, yeah. Now we're here and it's time to have some fun. Like a family together as one. Don't have to look far to find a friend. Like a party you just don't want to end. No, I'd like to show you how much fun it's gonna be. Take my hand and come with me. Yeah, come on in and sit right down. If you want to, just get up and shout. I'm so glad to see your face. There's nothing quite like this place. Everybody come and clap your hands. I'm so glad we're together again. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Come on in. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Come on in and sit right down. If you want to, just get up and shout. I'm so glad to see your face. Come on in and sit right down. If you want to, just get up and shout. I'm so glad to see your face. There's nothing quite like this place. Everybody come clap your hands. I'm so glad we're together again. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Come on in. Hey, hey, come on in. Let's give this world a little shake.
Goodness, start things moving.
Yeah. Hey, you guys make
When a touch can start a wheel spin, a single word can make a friend smile.
It's the smallest things that make the biggest difference.
You can find it in the heart of a child.
We have the best solution. Our kindness revolution. Shake this planet, shake this planet.
All it takes is you, all it takes is me. We're like the kindness and start things moving.
Shake this planet, shake this planet.
You can take it from me and I'll give it to you.
Let's give this world a little shake.
When someone's stuck or out of luck, when someone's falling down and can't get up,
Just stop, turn around, give it back.
let the kindness revolution begin.
We have the best solution. Our kindness revolution. Shake this planet, shake this planet.
All it takes is you, all it takes is me. We're like the kindness and start things moving.
Shake this planet, shake this planet.
You can take it from me and I'll give it to you.
Let's give this world a little shake. This planet, shake this planet.
All it takes is you, all it takes is me. We're like the kindness and start things moving.
Shake this planet, shake this planet.
You can take it from me and I'll give it to you.
Let's give this world a little shake.
This world right here shakes. This world right here shakes.
Let's give this world a little shake.
All it takes
first Wednesday night in a new month. So we have a brand new virtue. So let's do it together. And we're going to put it right there. It is. Does anybody know what this says? Honesty. Choosing to be truthful in whatever you say and do. Can you all say that with me? Honesty. I don't hear you. Honesty. Choosing to be truthful in whatever you say and do. And we're going to see how the kids in the clubhouse show honesty. So.
Alarm didn't ring, so I'm running late.
Good thing I had an extra tube of glue to finish these last few pieces. It's on there. And there we go. And a scuttlebutt. Man, she looks as pretty as the day we left port from Northport, Virginia. USS Enterprise, I salute you. Wait, something's missing. The flag! The American flag! Oh, how did I forget that? That just freezes over your oil pump, doesn't it? Got it somewhere. I think I've got an extra one back here. I gotta go find that. I shall return, Enterprise. Till then. Okay. If you just listen to me and you follow my directions, you'll be swinging like a rod. And I bet you'll make the team. Well, you'll need this. Go ahead.
Well, I don't think I'm that good, Vinny.
Oh, yeah, you are. Yeah, you are.
Then why is it whenever I try and get picked for a sports team during PE, there's like, fine, we'll take Gordo, but you owe us an extra round.
Don't listen to them. Listen to me. I'm going to teach you how to play baseball. I bet you'll be swinging on the best. And they'll pick you first. So, let me see your stance.
Okay.
Let's go.
What?
Raise it up. There's a tree. There you go.
Okay.
Perfect.
Okay.
Put it down. Now let me see your stance. Okay, you're shaking like an E-phone on vibrate, man. Okay. You're shaking like an E-phone. You gotta strike fear into the pitcher. When that pitcher's about to throw the ball to you, you dead stare. And you strike fear into the pitcher so when that good ball doesn't even hit the base. Yeah! Now I need something for...
Bring it on, steak!
It's bring on the meat.
Bring it on, meat!
Okay.
I knew that.
I need something for ability. That would work, but that looks super fragile, so probably not. What do we got?
Alright, so let me just go over the steps really fast. I grab the ball, I got the bat here.
Yep.
Put my feet at shoulder length.
Shoulder length.
Put the bat over my back shoulder and still fear my enemy.
Yeah.
I rear back. And then I
gotta say, you hit all of that one, dude.
What was you doing?
I did. It wasn't my fault. You're like,
no.
You're swinging that bat like it's all like, oh, look out for the bees.
It's okay. We got glue. We can fix this before Uncle Joe gets back. No issue. Look, there's one of these right here.
Yeah. Sure. And I got the flag and my shit. My USS Enterprise.
Um,
Did you two do this?
I love you, Uncle
Wait
Joe.
a minute, I know exactly who did that.
You do?
Yeah, it was your mother, didn't she?
Huh?
Well, do you think that she did it? I know she did it. So as soon as I told her about the ship and I was gonna put it on that small table, you know, where she has that ugly vase that she made in pottery class.
That's a vase? I thought it was a malformed chia pet.
Exactly, but I told her I was gonna put it there and she was like, you know, if I replace her vase, then I'm gonna be sorry.
So you truly think it was Mrs. F?
Of course I do. Who else could it be?
I'm drawing a blank.
I got nothing.
I'm gonna go find that ship smashing woman right now.
So now do you think what do you think we're going to do now?
Very, very important, Vinny. We're gonna do the right thing, and very calmly, and very collected, we're going to run!
She brings you the news you may not want to hear, in a way that you may not want to hear it. The stories from the four corners of the earth. She's tough, so tough, purposely she jams her size 10 feet into a size 7 shoe. If she were a superhero, she would be called Fancy. It's News Talk with Fancy Grace.
Hello, good evening. You are watching News Talk with me, Fancy Grace. I am Fancy Grace, and I talk about stories that are in the news. That's why it's called News Talk with Fancy Grace, and I am Fancy Grace. Well, today I have a guest, and he's a grieving man, very sad. He's been trying to deal with a horrible loss for several years now, and I, Fancy Grace, feel like I should help him. So ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Jacob. Come, Jacob. Hello, and welcome to News Talk with me, Fancy Grace. I am Fancy Grace.
Well, thank you, Fancy.
And how are you feeling?
Well, Fancy,
Are you sad?
You could say that.
I bet you're feeling sad. Do you all think he's feeling sad? No, okay, quiet please, quiet please. This is News Talk with Fancy Grace, and I'm Fancy Grace. This man is sad. Jacob, please tell your story.
Well, several years ago, I lost my favorite son, Joseph.
I know exactly how you feel, for I too have suffered a great loss.
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear about that.
Yes, once I lost one of my favorite diamond earrings.
You're comparing losing
Yes, the hole in my heart was way bigger than the hole in my ear.
You know, Fancy, I don't mean to sound...
I endured that loss for a grueling 5 minutes, Jacob, until I found it in my hand. I had just forgotten to put it in my ear. Now that is unbelievable. Oh, sorry, I forgot you were here. Where were we? What were you saying?
You see, I lost my son, Joseph.
Oh, well, did you check your hand?
No, Fancy.
Never mind. So what happened?
Well, I had sent Joseph out into the fields to check on the flock.
Flocks.
Yes. You know, like a herd.
Heard what?
Like a herd of goats.
Well, of course I've heard of goats. Remember, this is News Talk with Fancy Grace, and I'm Fancy Grace. And I've heard of goats. Goodness, please continue.
Okay, so I sent his older brothers out to check on the goats, and all they found was this blood-stained robe.
Oh, but they didn't actually find Joseph.
No, they didn't find Joseph, but they did find the blood-stained robe. See, he wasn't missing, he was dead.
Okay, well, my expertise of missing people, you know, tells me that that's when you realize Joseph was missing.
No, his brothers told me that
He was missing.
Okay, he was missing.
Okay, his brothers were one less brother, right?
Yeah, you can see that. That's what I know, Fancy.
So what did they tell you about how the blood got on his clothes?
They told me that he had been attacked by animals.
Oh, goodness. But they didn't find Joseph.
No, they didn't find nobody, just his blood-stained robe.
Oh, missing. I rest my case. Jacob, how have you dealt with this over all these years?
Well, I just like to take it into my heart that Joseph might be out there somewhere.
So you have hope.
I have hope.
Just a little bit of hope. And it's funny that you mention hope. Because, Jacob, Fancy Grace, I'm Fancy Grace, I have arranged a great surprise for you. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Jacob's sons.
My sons! Oh, my boys, I'm so happy.
And I know you're excited to see your sons, but they have an even bigger surprise for you, Jacob.
They do?
Hey, Pops, so you wouldn't believe this, right? We was walking to Egypt when all of a sudden we was looking at this hieroglyph, right? And it turns out that Joseph, he ain't even dead. He's the pharaoh.
What?
Joseph's pharaoh.
Telling me Joseph's alive?
Yeah, it's true. Joseph's alive.
I'm so sad. I want to go see him right now.
I knew you knew it all along.
I'm so glad we don't have to keep up that lie about Joseph being killed.
Brother with a big mouth, say what?
Nothing?
Oh, now.
Well, you see, we ain't got nothing to confess to you.
Why do you wait just a quick minute? I smell a goat here. I think you got some explaining to do, boys.
We ain't gonna explain nothing.
I plead the fifth.
Oh, don't you even go there with me, fellas. Anybody in here need to get a little something off their chest?
Oh, okay, stop grilling us. We were tired of Joseph being the #1 prodigy child.
Your dad's favorite.
So, we might have thrown him in a pit and sold him to slavers and took his jacket and smeared it with animal blood.
You did all that to your brother and you lied to your daddy? Did you see how bad he was hurt?
Well, he was the one who started it with this whole daddy's favorite son thing.
That is no excuse.
It's such an excuse, but you're right. It ain't no excuse. And we are deeply, deeply sorry.
Mm-hmm. And so whatever happened to him?
Nothing that we know of.
Oh, man. What about that slavery thing?
We'll just be going now.
Mm-hmm.
We ain't got nothing really left.
See ya.
Oh my.
I think you boys got some explaining to do.
Hi, Dad.
Love you, Pops.
Yo, boys, better get on out of here. What's he doing, Jim? Boys, gotta calm down.
Take it first.
As you can see, my expertise in missing people has once again reunited a long-lost family. Thank you for joining me, Fancy Grace, as I bring you the news from News Talk. From Fancy Grace. I'm Fancy Grace.
It's clear. We're good. Okay. Alright. First things first, we gotta start erasing every single thread of evidence we were ever here. Alright?
Yep.
So I got these gloves. Don't put it on yet. Stand up. You're lazy.
Long way to run.
Alright. Now that you got your glove, so you can take this side, And then I'm gonna take this side.
Hey, okay, just hand me that. You've done enough damage already, don't you think?
I guess you're right. Alright. So, what was that?
Okay.
You clean up behind the couch. I'll take care of this one. Just take care of this one behind that trunk. Make sure we don't miss anything.
Okay. Hey. I think this boat's too small, man.
Just blow it up and inflate it and it'll get bigger.
Okay, whatever you say, man.
Now, Gloria, that model didn't smash itself into 80 pieces. What do you have to say for yourself?
I can't see.
Come on, he's coming! He's coming!
Now, Joe, I already told you I did not break your boat.
It's not a boat. It's a ship in the U.S. Navy.
Well, look, whatever. I know you worked very hard on it, but I'm telling you, I didn't do it.
I know you, Gloria. Whenever you're telling a lie, your leg twitches.
Is my leg twitching?
My leg's switching. No, okay, I did it.
You didn't do it. Who did?
I did it. I did it.
Son, you look like you got cow letters hanging on your head. Gordo, what was that you were saying?
Well, the other kids were and they were all like, you can't, and then he told me to swing, and then I was like, boom, and I was like, what? And then all of a sudden we tried to hit it up, and I'm so sorry, Uncle Joe.
So let me get this straight. You're saying that you accidentally broke my model of the USS Enterprise that I've been working all week because you were playing with your bat.
He said no wham, no pain.
Vinny, stop it!
He did it with the bat!
Vinny!
Vinny? Thank you, Vinny. Gordo, what have I always told you about telling the truth? And you couldn't tell the truth this time? What was your excuse for that?
I was afraid. What about Vinny, huh? Vinny did it too!
What was your excuse for going along with this, huh, Vinny?
I am easily led astray.
Look, Uncle Joe.
What hurts most is I always tell you that, telling the truth is the best thing you can do, and you can always come to me and to be honest, you can tell me anything, but you didn't. You had to try to hide it and blame your mom.
You're right, Uncle Joe. I'm sorry.
It's alright. I'm sorry. I'll always love you.
Well, will you always love me too?
Yes, Vinny, I will. Especially if you take that thing off your head.
Okay, excuse me, but I do think somebody owes me an apology.
You're absolutely right, Gloria. Boys, apologize to Gloria.
No. Not them. You, Joe.
Yeah, guess you're right. It was a foolish thing to do. Sometimes I think if brains were leather, I couldn't saddle a flea.
Okay, I guess I'll take that as an apology.
Now you boys clean up this mess, and then we'll go down to the hobby hut and get another model for you to help me build.
Okay, Joe.
Fine.
I'll get the broom.
You get the broom, I'll supervise.
I have to admit, it did hurt my feelings a bit that when I found out that Gordo had lied to me and hid the truth. But apology accepted. Now Gordo's going to help me build another model. Please pray for God to help me.
Yep, Uncle Joe's right. You hurt people. It's all your fault.
Did you get that thing stuck again?
Yes.
Ow! Oh, it hurts! Oh, it hurts! Boy, I should really listen to that. I admit I should never really lie to Uncle Joe, because that sort of blew things out of proportion. Now to go help Uncle Joe build his new model.
Alright guys, so do you think that Gordo and Vinny learned their lesson? Huh? What did they do wrong? They weren't being honest, were they? No, and all month long we're going to talk about honesty and being honest and how important it is to be honest. Okay, and just like Uncle Joe said, with your parents, they're going to love you anyhow. So when you mess up, it's better just to be honest and tell them the truth, right? Right?
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Do you think that Reuben learned that lesson and Judah learned that lesson too? Was it nice of them to sell their brother into slavery? And then lied to their dad? Do you know what they did when they lied? What did they do after they sold Joseph into slavery? Do you remember from the sketch what they do?
Put animal blood on his robe.
They put animal blood on his robe, and then what did they do with that robe?
Put in the
They took it back to...
farm.
They did. They took it back to their father, and guess what they told their father? Some animal must have come and killed him. Was that being honest?
No.
Why did they do that? You know why they did that?
Because he was his favorite.
Because they were jealous because their dad liked Joseph better than he liked any of the rest of them. He was the favorite son. And they were jealous, and they didn't like that. So they lied. Was that a good thing to do?
No.
No, it's not. And you are going to talk about that more when you stay for second hour and stay for the Bible story. But we're going to pray, and then we're going to come up and do our virtue song. Okay? So let's pray. Jesus, we just come to you today, and we ask that you just help us all to be honest. And we know that that's one of the most important things that we could do for you, and we ask that you just help us with that, because sometimes it's hard. Sometimes we make little mistakes, and we think it's better to tell a lie instead of being truthful. And we just want you to help us with this. It's in your name we pray.